And we're live. Okay, I lost my chat. Went over there for some reason. How do I get my chat back? This is going to be a tricky one. There's the chat. But now, will it stay there? Is the question. Does not stay there. But where does it go? Then I can't find it. It's like completely off screen somewhere, and I can't get to it. Where the heck is it? It's like vanished. So I guess we're just going to use this chat and this chat only, I guess. I'll just use the other one. I have a backup, so hold on. Get the bot started. One thing at a time here. Before I even start the game, before I even get to the game itself, what I should do is show you guys the stuff that comes with it. Like I did with the other games. How about if we do that? Does that sound good? You like stuff? Let's bring the chat over here as well, because oh my god, it's huge. I can't handle it over here. I can't even look at it all when it's over here. Okay, backup plan. Let's get that other chat going before I do anything. Let's get backup plan going here. My backup chat. This is so hard when I have to make the other browser a smaller resolution. It just screws everything up. It's like, what are you gonna do? You know, what can you do? Well, I didn't say hello to anybody yet, so let's see. Raphael, Games are Jim, Irishman, Oni. Okay, let's see. Where am I? What am I doing here? Gonna bring this up, and then bring this up, and then click this. There we go. So this is what the front of the box would look like. Vanquish the Knight. Transylvania 3. Here's the back of the box. Why don't we look at that? Down with King Boleslav. Death to Lord Dracul. Friends and fellow countrymen unite. Our fair kingdom of Slavaria must suffer no longer at the hands of our unjust king and his Malavent, Chancellor, Lord Dracul. I can speak eventually. Let me get something to drink here. We must rise up and find a way to break the evil spell that has taken over our once beautiful countryside. Our lands lie wasted at the hands of Boslav's soldiers. Our villages are in ruin. Many of our good people are dead. And why, may you ask? Because Lord Dracul has decreed that no stone will remain unturned until he has found the Crimson Crown and captured Transylvanians whom he claims stole the crown from him.
I am going into battle, and I want your strongest potions.
Are you going to do sound effects over me talking now? Gosh, guys. We loyal citizens of Slavaria know better. The Crimson Crown rightfully belongs to our good neighbor to the north, Prince Eric of Transylvania. Upon recovering the crown from Lord Dracul and destroying the fortress of Carolthurg, the prince set to sea only to be overpowered by a great and deadly tidal wave. Rescued by a kind Slavarian fisherman from almost certain death, the prince has now regained his health. He asks that we join him in his quest to find the all-powerful crown, lost in the tidal wave that almost took his life. He also yearns for any news of his sister, Princess Sabrina, and the brave adventurer... Oh, come on. Hold on. My mother's trying to call me, but she can't hear me. I don't know what that is. She's probably going to call again here in a second. Let's see. Brave adventurer, accompany journey. So rise up, good people of Solaria. The time to fight is now. Help Prince Eric. Here we go again. I'm back. The jerk that my mother lives with is coming over soon. The guy I don't like, so I'm just gonna avoid him and stay inside. And now where was I? The time to fight is now. Help Prince Eric and myself rid ourselves of the foul stench named Dracul and the henchmen who lay siege to our fair land. Let us show King Boslav that we no longer tolerate his tyranny. The ramblings of a mad scientist. Forward. Greetings to the gentle reader who knows what lurks in the depths of imagination. Such is the word of the supernatural, where the boundaries between fact and fiction melt away like a vanishing veil of an avenging angel. We must take heart as visitors in a world that is as deadly as it is lovely. The following tales are are all that I could salvage from the burning remains of the library texts and personal notes after one of my experiments went a bit awry. I hope you will enjoy these stories and use them as a guide through your travels. Sincerely yours, Baron Von X? Maybe. Ghosts of Slaveria. Which, yeah. 'Twas a midsummer's eve, not so long ago, that I sat in my study, staring out my chamber's window into the swelling gloom of night, and contemplating the laws which govern men and nature. Here in the manor would I spend most all my evenings, countless hours, by my instruments, recording the results of endless inquiries into the realm of the unknown, hoping at times, in desperation, that the heavenly muse of science would descend and grant me a brief glimmer of understanding. But 'twas time for sleep, and I rose from my desk and hastened to my bed chamber, pausing only for a moment at the library to find a light reading selection that would soothe my tired nerves. So, reaching into the dark recess of a neglected bookcase, I chose to work as I had never before. Wait, does it go down and then go up? Let's see. I don't know. Because it doesn't look like it connects right there, does it? This says, I chose to work as never before. Touched a tattered volume of Odin's Amours. Maybe it does. Possession left behind by Chateau's previous owner, a certain Countess Bazena von Falkenberg. That's supposed to be like Frankenstein. And as I crept into bed, I recalled that on this very night, the spirits of the troubled were said to walk the earth seeking justice for a wrong never righted. My faithful servant Jacob had long since retired for the night, and the halls of my estate were as silent as a tomb, save for the steady clicking of a clock's swinging pendulum, marking the approach of midnight. And yet, silent or not, I could not help feeling that there was some presence there with me, watching from the shadows, listening from darkened corners, perhaps pressed up against my locked chamber door. A distant flash of light shook me from my superstitious trance. A summer tempest was brewing in the cauldron of the harsh Tatras, and Mount Javorina would soon feel its wrath. Ghosts indeed, such a strange atmospheric phenomena. I thought to myself. I broke the seal to begin to unfurl the scroll. Into my amazement, several sheets of paper fell out and floated down before me. Quickly I snatched them up and began reading. They were pages of the Countess' diary. The first pages began with love poetry of surpassed excellence. Each line melted in perfect harmony with the last and the next. Every word danced like a living thing upon the page, inspired by all the passion, pleasure, and pain of a longing heart. Should I read all this, guys? Unfortunately, I can't even see the chat. I'm all screwed up here, and I can't even see the chat, so I'll just assume that you guys want me to read all this. Then after some time, a correspondence began with the Countess, and a lover began to appear. His name was Orlich. Though of noble birth, his family had reduced to poverty by the treachery of his great uncle. Yet Bozina cared not for such trivial things, for her Ulrich was the light that had filled her empty heart with love and joy. Soon it became clear that they could not live without each other, but marriage was impossible. So as long as Ulrich was poor, Ulrich decided that he must venture out into the world and make his fortune to win his bride-to-be. And so he journeyed one cold autumn morning out into the world, and she never heard from him again. Now any lesser love would have doubted him. Perhaps he had run off with another, but Bozena possessed no such doubt. She knew deep in her heart that something evil had fallen her love. Of course, there were rumors. Some say he had perished on the battlefield. Others say he was done in by highwaymen. Years passed, and there was no sign of Ulrich.
I don't care how many
Bozena, having
teraflops
searched
they have.
far and wide, with no sign of hope, became convinced that her love had met a tragic fate. She grew more ill, until one day her diary ends. Her last entry reads, "There is a great sadness in the household, as I am not long for this world, but I tell my friends not to weep on my behalf, for the loved and I will soon be together again. My only fear is that he lacked a Christian burial, for if not, he will never find peace together. Doomed to different worlds, our spirits will never be able to unite." As I finished the last page, the clock told midnight, and a great gust of wind shook the pane, and my candle's flame died. Shrinking behind my covers, I tried once more to convince myself that there were no such things as ghosts. For there in the room with me stood none other than Countess van Valkenburg. I recognized her from the portraits that hang throughout my home. She floated toward me. Her image glowed with a livid phosphorescence. Did I say that right? That made her appear distorted and dreamlike. But there was no doubt to my conscious state. She was no dream. Taking courage, I tried to greet the spirit, but could not. I was as mute as an empty grave. There's still more. There's a lot more to this. Yeah, there's more. There's a few stories. I mean, we don't have to read all this, but I mean, it kind of sets up the game, though. It'll make the game longer, because we know these games are not long. Jeez. Good Lord. We only read this, the forward, and Orlich, and there's a lot more. Curse of Jacob's Skull, Cadmus, Pan, Romulus and Remus, vampires. Ugh.
Hold it.
Yeah,
Nobody
they did.
said anything about
Okay, who
3
votes
books.
right now? I read the rest. Who votes? We just start the game. And I can see the chat now, so. Take a vote right now. We got 1 vote for game. Start the game, please. Game. All right. Actually, I won't read this anymore, but we will take a look at the other papers that came with it real quick, because this one really confuses me. It's the Slavarian phrasebook for unwary adventurers. Useful words and expressions. Are these words that people in the game might say, and then we have to translate them? That's going to be crazy. Rich and beautiful language, for it nevertheless possesses an archaic and unwieldy grammatical system. Nowhere in Slovenia shall the visitor be required to say anything more complicated than the expressions above. Indeed, any other attempt at communication, even a simple Dobry den, will not be understood, as the following grammar and vocabulary is provided only to allow to help the visitor understand Slavarian speech. That's crazy. I guess we'll see. And the last piece of paper is instructions for using Comprehend Plus interactive novels. which this is basically just for any game that is released like this, and this is nothing important. I believe this game could have came out for Apple 2GS and Amiga as well. And I think we're doing the IBM version, I assume. So now let me turn that back off. Turn this over here. Bring this over here. Bring that up. Now we need to turn this off. And switch this to this maybe? There we go. Everything look good so far? Oh, the lid's on it. Can't drink a lid on it. Plot twist. I kind of already seen the beginning of the game already because I needed to test it to make sure it's saved. But I couldn't get I couldn't even save until I got past the beginning thing that happens here. So I saw a little bit more than I wanted to see. Will be Alucard. Victorious in your last mission, you and your friends sail away from the burning remains of Karl Thurg, once a mighty fortress on the Black Sea. You, Princess Sabrina, and the Prince Eric now have the Crimson Crown, an amulet of great power. You have rescued it from the clutches of the murderous vampire, Lord Dracul, an evil being you hope has at last perished in the explosion that leveled the stronghold. Comrade, a dragon called Fury, must have also perished in that blast, as it seems impossible for anything to have emerged alive from that devastation. Could someone please help me get these Windows 98 apps working on my Windows 10? Well, can you find yourself VMware Workstation 17 player, non-commercial use only? If you can find that and install it, you can get Windows 98 Second Edition on there, like I have right now. Behold, a column of flame rises from the rocky fist of Karl Thurg, filling the sky with awful radiance. Earth and sky tremble. The full weight of the sea crashes down upon your ship. Swallowed by the wave, you lose consciousness. Your spirit rises, floating far from the exine, I don't know how to pronounce that, sea, to a dark and misty world, where gusts of wind stir a carpet of eerie, iridescent vapor. Last stars in the heavens, one by one, yield their fading light to the inexorable pall of darkness. A faint glimmer on the horizon is your only torch. Your only beacon of hope is in your torch. Your only beacon of hope is in the forlorn land. Plane of darkness. Is there something in the background there? I can't really make it out. It's so dark. I think not bright enough to see. Let's see. Can't see nothing. I want to go north. A steady drumming of hooves beats the sounds. About south. The hoof beats sound much louder now. How about east? The sound of falling hooves is deafening. Facing death. Ooh, isn't that awesome? Hello, death. I don't know the word hello. You don't know hello? What would we say instead of hello? Greetings. How are you doing? Hi is not a valid abbreviation. The rider silences his mount and calls down to you. Welcome to the gateway of the afterworlds. I am death. I'm a very busy person, so let's get down to business, shall we? My job, as you suspected, is to bring spirits to their proper resting place. Now, if someone escapes from that resting place, well, it looks bad on my record. There seems to be a certain creature, I believe you refer to it as a vampire, who keeps escaping back to your world, causing a great deal of trouble. Here's my offer. You have a good record of terminating this vampire. Even though you should be dead, I am willing to overlook this whole unfortunate incident and let you off alive. That is, if you can eliminate the vampire again. Death pauses and, sensing your answer, wishes you luck in your quest and vanishes into the mist. You awake on a mountain peak, pondering your plight. The world seems cold and forbidding. It's certainly preferable to your former environment. Rosy-fingered dawn climbs above the storm clouds that gather below you. As your mind clears, the panorama becomes increasingly familiar. You recognize this land as Slavaria, Transylvania's neighbor to the north. This is Mount Javorana. On the horizon is Mount, I'll say Surkovka. Good enough? The region's only active volcano. You can see Hobble Mountain Goat. Is it a Hobble Mountain Goat or is it a Hobble and a Mountain Goat? What's a Hobble? A hobble is a short length of rope with a loop on each end. Oh, okay. Grateful for his freedom, the mountain goat guides you down the dangerous path to the gentler slopes below. Oh, maybe the hobble is around the goat's neck. Oh, yeah. Well, this is more advanced. This was only on, I think, 3 systems. I think the Apple 2GS, The Amiga and the IBM.
I'm going to be very upset if in 2 years from now I don't walk out into our parking lot and see 40 Ferraris. Like, I'm going to be really mad.
Here, a spell of eternal night hands over the land. Huge swollen moon looms over the treetops like an eye of some hideous giant studying your every step. The lively twittering of birds which once echoed in this forest now yields to the chill wind and the rolling thunder in strangled silence. The night air is filled with the creaks and groans of swaying timber. Strange hootings and ululations and horrible things lurk in the shadows, watching and waiting. Now, deep in Slavarian woodlands, you pause at a crossroads near an ancient well. Save to which file? 1? Yes. You see nothing special about this. Can't go that way. Is there any other buttons or keys that can do anything in this game? I wonder. Oh, I've lost my mouse. I can't even use my mouse at the moment. Is it because the game's in full screen or something? How would I get out of this? Alt tab maybe?
I'm Todd Rogers, the king of video games.
Wait, what was it? Was Alt enter maybe? There was a trick I learned on how to escape this. But what was it? I'm gonna have to know because I may have to get out of here. I forget what it was. I guess I'll have to use my phone to look it up real quick. Exit full screen mode. You have to press Control plus Alt plus Enter. Really? A whole lot of stuff. Control Alt and Enter. That didn't do it. Nope.
Into the pit with those bloodthirsty sons of war!
Or Control Alt plus Shift plus S on some systems. Alternately, you can move your mouse to the top of the screen to reveal the VMware menu. Select View, Exit Full Screen. Well, I can't even see my mouse. Huh. Yeah, I am completely stuck in here. With no way of escaping. I don't think it's my mouse. See if you guys can figure out any tricks to this.
Oh, fishy, 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 fish. A fish, a fish, a fish, a fishy, ooh. cars and all this. Woo!
I'm still Googling.
I hold over 2,000 world records.
Is that the only way? There's got to be another way. Try Alt and Tab. No, Control and Tab. No, even that doesn't get me out of it. Oh, shoot. Now I can't play or anything or do nothing. I'm stuck completely. Now I just quit the game. And I have no mouse. It's gotta be something. This is called the VMware Workstation 17 Player. So if you can find something.
Are we going to fan the gas or are you going to pop the clutch?
It's totally inappropriate. It's lewd, lascivious, salacious, outrageous.
Cannot read and concentrate with all these sound effects.
Hey, yes,
You got that straight?
I just can't. The sound effects are fine sometimes, but when I just can't read and concentrate when they're going on. So I gotta find an answer. You're starting the computer. You know what that does? That ends the stream, and I gotta start it back up again. And I don't know how to get out of this whatsoever. I can't find anything.
When that barrier comes in our road, we're going to figure out, we're going to either jump over it, we got to figure out how to get around it, dig under it, or smash through it.
Can't even get to anything on the computer at the moment. You know, it's just stuck. Trying any key on the keyboard. Is my keyboard stuck? Well, because none of the lights are coming on the keyboard. Even caps lock is not coming on at the moment. When I exited the game, it shut off the keyboard. Well, what do I do? Well, I guess I gotta end the stream, guys. Maybe come back. But now I've kind of lost the mood to even play this game right now. And now I'm stressed out, so I don't know. Today's just a bad day, I think. I can't say that I'm in the mood to do anything at the moment, so. It's too hot. I didn't sleep enough again. Anxiety's through the roof. I may just call it, and we'll try another time. Alright, I'll see you guys.